Hi, everyone. Welcome to our second session for our marketing playbook for startups by marketing experts that we are doing at StageOne Ventures. Today, I am honored and excited to interview Hadar from Monday. Hi.
Hey, all.
Nice to meet you. Today, we're going to talk about something which you may all look at me and you're going to be like, what do B2B companies need this for? But we're going to talk about best practices to make your YouTube an effective channel for a B2B startup. And for your business. I think what you need to, what all is going to speak to us today is the fact that YouTube is an amazing tool to get people to learn more about your business and as a marketing tool as well. And an interesting fact that I read is that Forbes actually found that over 75% of Fortune 500 companies executives have visited websites of their vendors and of potential customers after seeing their online YouTube videos. This is just one article that I read on it, and a testament of how powerful this tool is. So before we get into things, I just want to introduce Or for a second, and he will explain all about YouTube and how he took it to the most amazing level at Monday. Or is a senior brand marketing manager at Monday. He joined the company 3 years ago. Correct?
Yeah.
And he joined the team to really build out and scale the whole YouTube activities and online video activity as well. What we're going to do today is we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to have a presentation and we're going to ask questions ongoing throughout the presentation. And the second part, we will also bring in one of the StageOne portfolio companies, Joey from CoreLogic, and we will bring him in to ask a few questions and challenges that they face as a B2B startup. I'm going to give the stage to you, and if you want to present and share the presentation.
Excellent. 1 second. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for having me here, Yael. It's a great pleasure to share from our knowledge. We're gonna talk today how we use YouTube to scale our business and go a bit dive to different aspects of it. A bit about Monday for those who are not familiar with our product. Monday is a work operating system. It's a platform you can build whatever workflow you need for your business. It could be a CRM to manage your clients and a pipeline, or even a marketing planning. Whatever you want to build, you can do it on top of monday.com. I won't go too deep into it because we're going to have a few videos that will present part of the power of the platform. And if you want, you can go into Monday and learn a bit more about it. Just a bit overview. We got customers from over 190 different countries. Teams between 1 to 5,000. We got customers from over 200 different verticals, from building airplanes in South Africa to manage churches in North America. And maybe the most important part is that 70% of our customers are non-tech savvy, meaning people that are not so technological. Sorry for the mistake here. Meaning that the platform is very easy to use, very easy to adapt, and in a way it's relevant for any company that's working with computers. Those are only part of the brands that are part of our customers, and the list is expanding every day. A bit about numbers, I won't go too deep into it. The company was launched in 2014. As for today, we have over 120 paying companies. We raised $234 million before we went public last month, so the numbers are changing. And as for today, we have 900 employees across 6 locations. The headquarters are here in Tel Aviv, but we have offices across the US, London, and Sydney. It's very interesting because every time we need to create this slide, the numbers are almost doubling. The crazy growth that we have year over year is insane. And you can see on the right end the annual recurring revenue, the ARR that we have year over year, what we can publish at this point, and what we're gonna focus in the upcoming 20 minutes is about the red line above. What we can see here is the marketing budget month over month, and we're gonna focus on the YouTube channel, and that will scale it from $4,000 to around $2 million a month in less than 2 years, and how effective it was for our company. A very short overview about Startup for Startup, and this is the initiative that brought us together with StageOne. Startup for Startup is the team in Monday.com that is in charge to share our knowledge, our insights, our learning and experience with other startups in the industry. We really try to be as transparent as possible and give as many tools, ideas, knowledge, and whatever we see is relevant. We are having a podcast and a very strong Facebook community that you can go and learn a bit more. So if you want to learn about our activities and what other channels you can take part in, you can easily go to our website or the Facebook community and join and learn and read. It's very interesting. There's a lot of very relevant information, and you can feel free to share whatever knowledge or question you have, and people will happily help you and get your answers. So this is a very short overview about Startup for Startup, and this is the reason we came together here.
I want to add that I think it's an amazing initiative, one, and two, I think one of the things that even our companies use is ask an expert on at Mondays, is where they do have different questions, mainly if it comes to product scaling, marketing, and it's interesting that they ask a question, they fill in a form, and within a few days, people will get back with a concrete answer. It's another great way for networking and for companies also to get assistance and just learn. So thanks for starting this program. So as we discussed, and before we go in, I think you're going to talk to us really about using YouTube as a very clear marketing channel, which you focused a lot of time and budget on, as we saw in the previous slide, and how you actually evolved it. And my question is, there is so much content available on YouTube. It's just crazy of how much content, what I see, what my kids see, what anyone sees, there's just overloading content. And then, so my question is, how can creators gain a fair share of a user's attention, especially when it comes to B2B?
It's a great question. It's maybe the biggest question that we have as advertisers on YouTube. And I think our presentation is gonna answer a lot of these questions. It's a lot about strategy and the point that you're trying to target your audience. We know that today people are not really working 9 to 5, they are working around the clock. And it's not that they're just working on front of their desktop in the office. They're all the time connected to their mobile phone and going to social networks and seeing videos on YouTube or on other platforms. And we understand that our audience is everywhere. It's not only in the office. So we can find him whenever we want. And maybe we go into the slides and we can explain it better. So the first point that we're going to discuss about is understand your audience, which is the first rule on marketing. We at Monday had a few different strategies for using YouTube. The first one is that we are a B2B company, but we have a B2C approach. And following what I just talked about, the new 9 to 5, we understand it's not the business who make the decision in the organization. It's the people who are doing that. So we don't want to talk to the business and to have the messaging directed to businesses, but we want to do the messaging to specific people, to the managers inside the organizations, to those who are making the decisions, and to make a real conversation with them. We try always to speak as you, your problems, your needs, your team. In that way, we are making the conversation directly to our customer. And we're always trying to really attract his pain points, his capabilities, or his problems of using different softwares to manage his team. and not about the bigger picture, the bigger value that sometimes the managers are not really thinking about it on their daily pain points, but they are more focusing about how they're gonna make the next project as successful as they can with their team. So the first point is that we are trying always to make a B2C approach, meaning we are talking directly to the person, trying to understand his pain points and trying to show him how Monday is relevant for him. The second point is that we are having a bottom-up approach. The bottom-up approach means that we are not trying to tackle the C-level executives that will come one day and decide from now on we'll start using Monday and all the organization need to adapt. But we are trying to come from the bottom. We try to tackle one team and make him love the product, love and adopt it, use it as much as they need. They will really show the value of it, and they will understand what they can do with Monday. And slowly, we can see that one team becomes 2 teams, and 2 teams becomes 5 teams. And we are growing inside the organization, and the organization is growing with us. We see it as a way more efficient way for us to grow inside organizations. The retention is way higher, the churn rate drops dramatically when we go with these directions. And for us, it's the best approach. And the way that we use it on YouTube is that we're always talking about the team. We're always talking about your team and the platform that will help the team to achieve their goals. We are trying to go away from the bigger organization. Again, it's similar to the first point, because it's not really connecting the team leaders to the platform. So this is the second point. And the third point, which is maybe the most important in our case, is the YouTube experience. And I will talk about YouTube, but you can take it for whatever channel that you are talking about. The main thing is to understand what the user is experiencing when you meet him. And on YouTube, we know a few things. We know the first thing that it's going to be with the video on. We understand that the audio is on as well. It's not muted. It's usually unmuted. We know that we have 5 seconds that it's unskippable. So we always have the user captured. We call it captured, but we have 5 minutes gold time to use the best way we can, even for users that are going to skip it. We understand that the users sometimes are in the middle of enjoying something of entertainment. Maybe they're watching the Euro final recap, or they might see a Beyonce video clip. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who are going to YouTube to learn about stuff, how to better manage their team, how to bring new experience to work. So we need always to understand what is the state of mind that we are meeting the users. And in our case, we always try to make the videos as fun and entertaining as possible while bringing the most value we can. So in the first 5 seconds, we will always try to show our logo, to say our name, to show the users how they can go to monday.com. If it's the search bar on the URL, if it's from Google, you can have a lot of different strategies to do so. We usually try to tell them what they're going to watch or what the video is about. We need a very catchy first phrase that will attract the relevant users and will make the irrelevant users skip the ad. We don't want them to watch it till the end. Sometimes you're paying on those views. It depends on the bidding time that you're gonna make. And I think those are the main points that I want to say. And I will show you the first video. It's a video that we produced, I think 3 years ago. It was one of our best videos up till today. And we'll recap it in a second.
This is an ad for a project management tool called Monday.com. This is what it looks like, and this is what it feels like. So the tool works like this. We call this a board. Just put everything you need to do here, then put who's in charge of it here, and see where everything stands here. Also, it works on your phone because it's 2019. Click drag and drop to create your board exactly the way you need it. You'll never drop the ball on the important stuff again. So go to monday.com and create your free account today.
So this is one of our first videos we made for YouTube channel. I think this is one of the videos that really made us scale and see the value from this channel. And we did, when I'm saying we, I'm talking about the creative team who made the video. They made an amazing job because we did all the basic rules in the right ways. The first thing that we did is that we said everything in the first 5 seconds. We said, this is a project management tool called monday.com. We showed the user how they can find us on the URL. We tell them what is our name, and we told them what they're gonna watch. It's a project management platform. Again, today we have a work operating system, but this is that was our messaging 3 years ago. And that was the first sentence in the first 5 seconds. The second thing we did there is very catching animations in the first few seconds that will attract the user and make him watch the video. And then we showed a lot of satisfying activities like charging the phone, open the beer, open Oreo. And we brought positive emotional feelings to the video. And the user who saw this video immediately felt better just from watching this quick intro. Then we have the audience kind of captured because they already saw it, they are engaged with it, they want to see what is it about. And then we have like 15 seconds of a very easy to understand demo of the basic use of the platform. What is actually monday.com? What is the value that you can get out of it? We added few fun motions like the girl that is tweaking and that it's working on your phone because it's 2019, which is again showing a great value that we have also a mobile app for the platform in a fun and an easy way to understand it. And we will come back to this video in few slides, remember it. But again, this is one of our first videos we adopted and we progressed a lot from there, but we have a lot to learn from this video. Sorry. Okay, so after we understand how we want to create our videos, we went to the second part, which is very important when we're doing performance marketing, which is knowing how to measure your performance. One of the very interesting stuff we saw in our data once we started to do YouTube activity is that the users behave differently. It's not like we used to see them doing on search where they're looking for something and directly they find the answer and they click on it. On YouTube, we saw there is a long tail. Users who saw our ad, and sometimes it will take them a few minutes, few hours, or even a few days to come to Monday and see what is it about. We started to track the non-click activity. The click is users who saw our ad, they saw something that is relevant for them, they found it interesting, decided they want to go and learn more. So they click on the ad, they go to our landing page, and from there they decided if they want to sign up and start their free trial, or they want to leave us and go back to what they did. The other group is the non-click users. It's meaning it's users who were in the middle of something. Maybe it was watching the Euro recap or in the middle of learning about how to manage better their team. But what we know is that those users found the platform relevant for them and they didn't click, but they remember the name because it's easy to remember, it's monday.com. They know how to get to our website because we showed them in the URL. And we also told them that go to monday.com, start your free trial today, and understand what they need to do in order to actually use the platform. Those users might come again, few minutes, few hours, few days later, and they can start from their funnel from there. What you can see on the right side of the slide is that we see the different stages of our funnel from visit to sign up to paying users and a breakdown to clicks and non-clicks users. And as you can see, if we go down the funnel, the non-click users are becoming the bigger group and they're more relevant for us. Actually, we see that those users will not only that they are paying more, they will pay more money, usually because they are more engaged, they understand it's relevant for them, they didn't stop what they do in the middle of their YouTube experience, but they found it relevant enough to go after and check it out. So our learning here was that measuring non-click performance is crucial for YouTube channel. You can't only rely on the click performance that you usually see. You need to find your ways how to measure the non-clicks and give it the appropriate measurement. The second thing that we did is that we gave it a space in our attribution model. I won't go too deep into it because it's a bit technical, but the attribution model says that if a user saw our ads on different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and then came to monday.com, how do we decide which channel we get the attribution for this user? And there's a lot of different methods out there, and there is no right through. It's what is right for your company. The way we did it in Monday is that we built an in-house model. It's kind of a decision tree with a set of rules we decided upon. It's based on the data that we have on our end, and based on the learnings that we have, and part of it are business decisions that we make. And when we saw the performance of YouTube and the way that the user behaved, the long tail that we see after people are engaged with our ad, after a few days, we gave it the appropriate time in our attribution model. And that way we can see the real value of YouTube for us. And it's also a very important point once you have this channel alongside with other channels. We are always checking this model. We're doing geo lifts, we're doing conversion lifts to learn about it. Again, it's a lot of technical stuff, so I don't want to talk about it too much. If anyone have question, you can ask it in the Facebook community. Actually, just a week ago, they opened analytic marketing group because we saw a lot of questions coming. So feel free to join.
I have a question before we go into scaling without fear. And again, this is something that I've just read about, so I'd love to hear your input on it. The whole aspect of what we call YouTube SEO and how you can better rank your YouTube videos today. Can you give me a little bit of your, feedback on this and what you think? Because it's a question that a lot of articles are now discussing.
Yeah, so it's a great question. And it's an area that is not yet very understood. The YouTube SEO is complex and is built on a variety of things. It can be from the title, which is the most strong part of the SEO, until the description and the tags that you can put in the video itself. And actually, YouTube have algorithm that can kind of script the audio, and also looking for the words inside the script. So you need to actually understand what are you trying to answer, which question you're trying to answer in this video. And the way that people search stuff on YouTube is very different from the way that people are looking for answers on Google search. It's usually how to, or best way to do something, and not what is. In most cases. So you need to see that you are really answering the questions that you want to answer, or if you have a strong word that you want to emphasize, you need to see that you put it on the title, on the tags, on the description, even insert it to the actual script. Sometimes you can upload subtitles and put them not available to everyone, but Google will learn from the subtitles what is the video about. And there's a lot of different tricks to do that. While saying that, it's complex on YouTube. The algorithm is not as known as we are familiar with on Google search. So again, the most important part is to do really quality video, and then you will have the engagement that you want coming in.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so we can go on. So far we discussed about how we want to make our videos and how we want to measure it. And now that we know both of those parts, we can start scaling without fear. We have a method that we are working by in the acquisition team on Monday that we call it core and experiment. 70% of our budget go to core activities and 30% goes to experiment. The core is the majority of the traffic. It's the stable campaigns, it's the relevant channels, it's the audience that we feel comfortable with. It's the places that we have enough optimization history and we see good performance coming in from it. It's things that we rely on and we trust it, and we want to put the majority of the budget on those campaigns. The 30% experiment is our playing ground. It's a place that I hope no one will fire me after saying that no one cares if we're going to lose everything. Again, it's not really the way we work, but it's the playground. It's the place for us to test whatever we want, to try new audiences, new creatives, different channels, different conversions, different bidding strategies, whatever we want to experiment and try and check it out. This is our budget to do so. We work with this method in a way I will show practically how we do that. But because once we find a successful experiment, we receive 10x on the investment, and the successful experiments are going to the core area, and then we bring new experiments in, and this is our way to learn and move faster, and really expand our activities to wherever we want to go. The way we do that is in a very easy 3 steps. The first step is to upload the new experiment. And when we upload new experiment, we try to determine the best way what we want to do out of this experiment. What is the KPI? What are we going to measure? How much budget we want to put into it? What are we expecting to see? A lot of times we have no idea what we expect to see, but just trying to predict something is also helping you understand if this experiment is good or not, and if you're doing it in the right way, and if you're going to have enough data to understand if it's something that you want to bring into core activities or not. So this is the step which is, I think, the most important one before you start even the activity. The step 2 is the optimizing along the way. We know, especially on YouTube, that it takes time to optimize. The algorithm is working. Sometimes it's few days, sometimes weeks, sometimes even months. It depends on the budget, on the scale, on the relevant audience that you're working with. So you need to give it enough time and let it work. On the other end, you need always to be with your eye on and see that you're optimizing and not burning your money. And the third step, which is the judgment day, is when the campaign ends, and you need to understand if it's good or bad. I think this is also one of the most important steps, because even from the worst experiences, the things that failed completely, you can learn a lot. Why didn't it work? What happened? What we should do better on the next time? And from the experiments that did work, you can move them to core. You can expand the budget. You can push more audiences, ad groups, whatever you want. Expand it globally. So this is, again, a very important part at the end to make the most learnings that you can do from the failures and from the successes, and go again to another round of experiments. Again, we always try the budget to be balanced as a 30-70. And this circle and this approach of budgeting is always making us think, what is the next step we want to do? What is the next experiment? What we want to test? What we want to learn? It's keeping us always engaged with the platforms, understanding the new capabilities that each channel have, and always thinking creative about what else we can do or how we can improve what we got right now. So this is the way we do that on Monday. And
I have a question before we go into the next step regarding when you said we talk about optimization, and maybe you want to give a few examples for Monday, but if we're looking at startups and let's say they put X amount of budget on a YouTube video, how should they look at it as a project? How long should they see, okay, this, because you said optimization can take a few months, and at the end of the day, it's trial and testing, and you want to make sure something works. But is there maybe if you even give me an example for Monday, because startups who never use YouTube, it's not like a LinkedIn campaign or like a Facebook campaign. How should they look at it? Okay, this is working, this isn't working. We should look at it for X amount of months or X amount of weeks. Can you dive a little bit into this, especially for startups who haven't done YouTube, because it is an expensive, it's not, we'll talk about that in a minute, but there's more to go into a video than, let's just say, doing a LinkedIn campaign. There's much more going in. So how should we try to optimize?
Yeah, it's a great question again. The answer is very varied between different startups and products and platforms, because each funnel is different, and maybe for one company to bring a user, you need to invest $100, and for other you need 1,000. So I will try not to be so specific. I think when you go to YouTube, you need to understand that you need to have big investment into it. The media buy is expensive on YouTube, and you need enough reach and enough impact to show the real value. For startups that are just starting and they want to learn in the sandbox, let's say it like that, in place that they can see the impact but not burn too much money, there's a lot of different strategies you can do that. You need to understand that YouTube is not only a direct response channel, like I discussed in a few slides ago, but also a very brand awareness channel. We can call it a brand performance channel that brings a lot of impact to the entire company. And adding to that today we have a lot of technical challenges that prevent us from really tracking the users. You need to really see the bigger picture. So one of the ways that you can do that is by do only a geo test campaign. You can get specific to one of your relevant markets, if it's New York, for example, and do the activity only to New York. And then the budgets that you need to invest will be lower. The impact that you can see coming in can be higher. You can see what's happening to New York versus other cities, just for example, and understand if it's good enough for you. You don't have to go as big as the bigger players are going. You can start with a small place, small tests, see the value, understand, feel comfortable, see that the creatives are relevant, see that the funnel is relevant, the landing pages. There's a lot of things that you need to optimize along the way. It's not only the campaign, it's not only the ad group, it's also your creatives, your messaging. So you need to start small. Again, we started with $4,000. We did a lot of different videos, a lot of different productions. I will talk about it in a few slides again. And when we found the secret sauce for us, the relevant audiences, the video that worked good, the one that I showed you in the beginning, we felt comfortable enough to scale it. And when we find the right way for your company to do so, it's easier to start growing.
Okay, I think that's a great answer. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so we got to the final point, which is the in-house production. And it's kind of connecting to the last point that you asked about, is that usually when we think about YouTube or video production, we think about outsourcing and about big productions and Hollywood style. And no, it doesn't have to be that way. We held in-house production team. At the beginning, it was only one motion designer. After that, we have one of our customer success managers, our early joiners, really liked to do videos. He was a very creative guy. Yeah, he's actually the one that created the video that you saw at the beginning. And they started creating videos. The videos are not only for YouTube, it was for all the channels. And actually, the majority of the videos they produced were not for marketing purpose, but more for vision videos or things that we wanted to show to our investors while we did the investing rounds. So this team, they created a video like 2 videos a year we received from them. But every time that they produce a video, we can really work directly with them. We can make the learnings together. We can tell them what we want to show, what is the impact, what is the audience. And once we have this in-house production team, we could easily test more and change the messaging and adapt to the changes that we saw and improve the videos as we go. I will show you an example of one of the videos I created a year later after the first video I showed you. You can see that the video is bringing way more value to the users. and showing much more of the platform. Most of the people that you're gonna see in the videos are our employees. It's not actors that we paid for. So it was in-house. And let's let the video talk to himself.
If you manage a team, you should be using Monday.com. It's a platform to manage any team and any project. Marketing campaigns, classic project management, sales pipelines, creative productions, anything. We'll start with a board. Here you can track everything your team is working on. Columns are completely customizable, so you can track what's important to you. Everything is visual. See who's in charge of what and easily prioritize. Upload files and get quick approvals and feedback. Views let you see the information in your board in different ways. Make sure projects don't overlap. Or see the breakdown of progress. Whoa. If you want to see the bigger picture, use dashboards. You as a manager can get key insights and metrics from all your projects in one place. You can even broadcast dashboards around the office. Monday.com integrates with your favorite tools and combines everything your team is working on into one easy-to-use collaborative space. Managing your team is now easier than ever. So go to Monday.com and start your free trial today.
So again, this is a bit more complex video from the first one that we showed. It brings much more value, which it really explains the platform. Again, this is a video, I think, from 2 years ago. So today the videos are even way more complex. I wanted to go from the historical video, how we built the channel. And the beautiful part when you have an in-house production is that you can easily iterate together. So for example, we saw this video is very good. It's a great demo video, and we can easily adapt it to other audiences. And one of the main audience that we found is the marketing teams that are trying to manage their marketing activities, or there might be even agencies. And we sat down with the creative team and I told them, okay, this is the audience we're going after. Those are the power words that we're looking for. This is the visuals that we want to show. Those are the features we want to emphasize. And actually we took the exact same video that I showed you right now, and we created dedicated video.
If you manage a team,
a dedicated video for marketing teams. So you can see that the visuals are somehow the same. We tried to change the voiceover, to change a bit the music, and also the messaging, but the actual video is exactly the same.
Monday.com is a platform to manage your entire marketing team. From content creation and strategic planning to client requests and organizing assets, Monday.com has all your marketing covered. We'll start with a board. Choose a template or build yours from scratch. Here you track everything your team is working on. Columns are completely customizable so you can track what's important to you. Everything is visual. See who's in charge of what and easily prioritize. Upload files and get quick approvals and feedback. Views display information in your board in different ways. See the progress of projects, schedule the published dates of campaigns, and get budget breakdowns. Whoa! If you want to see the bigger picture, use dashboards. Get key insights and metrics from all your marketing projects in one place. You can broadcast dashboards around the office and share them with clients. Monday.com integrates with your favorite tools and combines everything your team is working on into one easy-to-use collaborative space. Managing your marketing is now easier than ever. So go to Monday.com and start your free trial today.
So that was just a quick example of the real value of in-house production, how quick you can take the same assets, change them, play with them, modify the first few sentences in the first 5 seconds of the video. And you can easily learn and adapt and progress together. And I think this is one of the main powers that we got from this in-house production team. Today, they grew, and we have even a production manager, video editor, script writers, creative guys. And actually, I think today they are producing video almost every month. So if you really want to see a lot of our ads, you can go to our YouTube channel. They're making amazing videos and making creatives. And you can go in and learn more about it. The final part of it, and which is the most important part of having in-house production, is that people think that production is very expensive and it can cost you thousands of dollars. And the real answer is that production doesn't have to be expensive. Once we held those people internally and we use their knowledge and experience, we managed to create those videos in a very low amount of budget. Just as an example, I will focus on the first video that we saw, the feels like video. This video was created by three of our guys. It took them 2 weeks and it cost them $70. Yeah, that's the number, $70. The majority of the budget went for the license of the audio, of the music, but also for the beer and the Oreo pack. This video was translated to 6 different languages. It got, I think, over 50 million views. It's one of the videos that really pushed the company forward in the days that we started to do YouTube channel. And it was nominated as the second best video for action across all YouTube videos in the year of 2018. And actually, it cost us, again, only $70, 2 people, 3 weeks. And this is the numbers that we are talking about. So it doesn't have to be expensive. You can do it internally. You can do it with your own team and test and learn and scale slowly. Okay, so before we go to the questions, I just want to wrap it up. So we talked about a few things along this presentation. The first part was understand your user experience. What is he doing right now? What is his state of mind? What are the platform capabilities? Is it only audio? Is it only video? Is it the combination? What is he looking at? Maybe the videos that you're gonna put on music videos in YouTube will be different from the ads you're gonna put on educational videos. So you always need to have it in mind and understand how you want to talk to your users. The second point is finding the right way to measure is crucial, especially when we talk about impression-based channels like YouTube. If you want to track your impressions and the real halo effect of the activity, you will find it not such a useful channel. But once you really measure all the aspects of your activity, you can find amazing stuff, and you can see that the activity is way better than you imagine. And the third point is experiment as much as you can. This is the only way you can really scale. This is the only way you can learn, and you can have a lot of impact while you do that. So don't be afraid. Give it the right budget, give it the right attention, and try as much as you can. And the last point, what we finished with, is that good creative and execution doesn't have to be expensive. If you build the right team internally and you understand the value that it can bring to the entire company and not only to YouTube videos, it's worth the salaries. And again, it's helping you scale and do a lot of different activities. Again, they can create videos to YouTube, but for Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever channel that you're using. And it's one of the main stars for us.
I think that's a great point with, because I think if we look at startups today, and until they start growing their teams, it's to use the people you have internally, from the developers to the engineers to product, and really get everyone to brainstorm and for them to really build the creative of the video, because they also are the ones building the company at the end of the day. And that's a great point. Hey, thank you. I do have one more question, because before we go in to the second part. I mean, there isn't really, I would say, a time where you can tell each startup, to do YouTube videos or not. But let's look into the fact, maybe are there different tools you can recommend that they can use, tools for creating videos, even if they do it in-house. Like you said, the first video cost $70, but I think there are a lot more tools today than there were 3 years ago. Are there any that you can recommend for our startups? Or for startups?
So first of all, I will break it down into different questions. One is the right time to start, and second one is recommendations. I think there is no right answer to what is the right time. It depends on the company, on the funnel that you have, on the creatives that you can make, and also about your audience. And understand if your audience is on YouTube, or you will have easier time to find them on different channels. Will your search campaigns are strong enough? Or once a user will see your ad on YouTube and he will look for your name, he will never find you because your search campaigns are not strong enough right now. So you need to understand that YouTube is expensive channel when you do the media buying of it, and you need to invest the money and time into it, and the production and the learnings. But at the same time, it brings a lot of value. So the right time for you is once you see that the traditional channels, I'm not trying to call it traditional, but the more high intent channels like search, like comparison sites, are coming to a place that you feel comfortable enough and you want to make the next step. And that's the right time, as I see it, to start doing YouTube. Regarding platforms, I want to say that to have a disclaimer that I didn't really use any of them because we had our production team internally to create it. But then I know there are a lot of great tools out there, like Powtoon, like Filmora, Vidmob. You can easily search online and find a lot of different examples and start creating, start playing with that and see if the platform is strong enough and bringing you the right deliverables that you want.
Okay, thank you. Super interesting. I mean, I remember when we did the presentation, I remember the 5-second rule, the call to action, and the B2C state of mind, the emotional state of mind when you watch a video. And I think it's pretty much true for any video you watch. So thank you so much. I think it's extremely valuable for startups and startups to look at YouTube as from a different point of view. I want to add this. I want to invite Joey. Joey, you want to join us for the second part?
Hello.
Joey. Hi, Joey.
Hi. How are you?
How you doing? So Joey is the CMO at CoreLogic. CoreLogic is one of our portfolio companies. I'll tell us a little bit about CoreLogic soon. We invested in CoreLogic in 2016 already. So it's one of our great companies. I think they have over 70 employees in Israel and around the globe. They have over 2,000 customers globally, a growing company. And Joey joined CoreLogic about a year ago to really build the marketing, to build it from scratch. Joey comes from a growth marketing, from an operations background. And I think why I actually brought CoreLogic to this session is because I think you could see a company that started from very little marketing and how they've really taken their marketing to the next level. We also discussed videos in one of our meetings, so I thought this would also be great, a time for him to also meet and ask questions that can be relevant to CoreLogic as well. So tell us a little bit about CoreLogic and let's dive into your questions that you have for us.
Sure. Thanks, Yael. So CoreLogic is a stateful data streaming platform. We empower DevOps teams to autonomously manage and analyze their logs in their cloud applications. We've been in the game for quite a few years, and we're growing we're growing a lot. As you mentioned, we're already past actually over 80 employees at this point, with over 2,000 customers across the globe, Israel, India, UK, the US, and our customers include Monday, Payoneer, Fiverr, and many, many others in the SaaS world. I joined the company, as you mentioned, Yael, about a year ago. Marketing person number one, built out an entire team and still growing. And I actually absolutely love the topic matter here because we're actually in the beginning stages of our investment into YouTube as an ad channel for us. And this is actually very relevant for us. And I have a bunch of questions to ask about this. So yeah, absolutely. Should I get into the questions already?
Yeah, you can get into the questions. I think we'll do question and oral answer. I'll let you to do Q&A.
Cool. So some of my questions, or you kind of touched upon, but I kind of wanted to dive a bit deeper. So one of the first questions I have was, what should be the initial video production budget, the investment in this, and how would you scale that budget? And you mentioned, it doesn't have to be expensive. You guys started with $70. I think today, what we've seen is the game has changed. you have to up your game. Especially when you're in a competitive ecosystem and you have your competitors also doing videos, you kind of have to be even more creative, extra creative, and figure out how to really, go above the normal. And so one of the things that I'm struggling with, as marketing leader is, okay, I don't yet have a POC. I don't have a proof of concept that this channel will bring me any ROI whatsoever. And so the question is, how much of my total media spend budget do I put to now YouTube as an experimental? And you mentioned, you have that divide of 70%, 30%, where 30% is experimental. Would you agree of doing something like that, even in the total media spend budget, and focusing it up on YouTube and testing out that channel before investing deeply into it?
Yeah. So the overall the budget perspective is, again, we are looking at it holistic. So the entire marketing budget per month supposed to be divided 70-30. And again, each channel tries to focus on that approach as well. But when you're starting a new channel, of course, all this activity in the first few months will be experiment until you can see the real value. So for that, again, it's more a strategic decision, that you understand that building new channel can cost you money and it might take time, and you need to understand how much you are able and want to invest into it. So in that matter, it's hard for me to say what is the budget that you need to understand that you want to invest. But you need to understand it's supposed to be a few tens of thousands when you are talking about creating YouTube channel, and you want the first few learning steps. What are the right audiences for you? What is the right campaigns? What is the right account structure that you need? So that's on that perspective. Regarding the production itself, again, I don't think that you need to start with going to the big production companies just for creating amazing video. The best creative that we did with the low production. We'll give you a different example. One of the videos we created along the way was with the famous guys from the US that are actually using Monday.com, Trip and Tyler, maybe you're familiar with. And it was a big investment. It was almost $100,000 US just to create a video with them. They brought the creative, they did the production and everything. And they think it was a very bad video for us. It didn't bring any performance. It cost us a lot of money to produce it, but also to test it. And since we invest a lot of money in producing it, we wanted to give it enough budget to learn if it's good or bad. So the overall budget that we put into this video was very big, and the results we saw was not good enough. While again, we have a lot of small videos that we produced internally with the motion designer, even without opening a camera, and we saw amazing results coming in. So I don't think you need to start by going to the bigger productions just to be out there. It's enough to think really creative of how you can be different in this view, what you can do that can attract the attention, that will capture your audience eye in the first few seconds and keep them engaged with the video. And again, for doing something that is very creative and interesting, you don't need a big budget. You can do it with the right way of thinking.
And you mentioned the concept of measurement and KPIs and how you guys, it's important to look at it holistically and not just necessarily the click rate, right? And I wanted to get a bit deeper in that and just kind of understand how did you guys connect it to the general pipeline generation, right? Because at the end of the day, right, marketing, every budget you spend, everything you spend has to go back to the calculation of, was this worth the investment? Did we get ROI? Did we get a return of investment?
Sure.
So how did you guys make that connection?
So it's a very technical stuff, so I don't want to go too deep into it, but there is a platform called the Doubleclick Manager or Google Ad platform. It's Google platform that you can implement impression tags on top of your videos and also on your website, and then you can connect users who saw your ad to users who arrived to your platform. Even if they didn't click on it. So we can easily understand what was the user journey and see if they came from YouTube, yes or not. I will add the disclaimer that today there's a lot of technology difficulties with cookies, environment, and cross devices and stuff like that, and that make it very difficult to really see the full picture. So you can see only part of it. But on the same time, we are running different geolifts, as I mentioned earlier, to really see the halo effect on a specific region. So you can see what is the impact of it, and see if suddenly from a specific place that you ran YouTube campaign, you see traffic coming in that you have no idea where it came from. Usually we'll see the brand campaigns are going with higher traffic. And also a different approach that you can make is asking your users, users who sign up, where did you hear about us? And you can start seeing the answers. At the beginning, I remember a lot of people when the YouTube was a new channel and young channel, you see a lot of comments about it. You can see the comments on Twitter, you can see the comments internally, you can see the CS, the customer success agents receiving a lot of compliments on the videos and sharing it internally. And there's a lot of different ways to get signals if the activity is bringing value or not.
Got it. Okay, very cool. And then my last question, I've been asking a lot of questions. What would you recommend the initial type of video, the types of videos should be produced? Like, today you have testimonial videos, product overview videos, like what you showed us was mostly a product overview and product highlight videos. There's also use case videos, and companies now have been also dabbling in the what I call the funny viral videos, where it's like probably higher production, but it's funny, it's cool, and it's an interesting. So I'm just curious.
I think it's an amazing question because we always ask it internally, and we found that for us the best approach was to have 3 or 4 videos live at the same time, not more than that, and not trying to not have less than that. And we always try to have a mix of types of videos. Because, for example, the funny video that you saw in the beginning, it was amazing. It got amazing reach. It brought us a lot of users to Monday, but the quality of the users was lower. While on the more demo video, it didn't deliver as good as the first one. It didn't brought as many users as the first one. But the users that did come from this video were way better than the users who came from the first one. So we're always trying to have a variety of videos, from demo to testimonial to more creative, we call it, video that is more fun, more engaging, more viral type. I will say that this video is more difficult to create because you need to really find and touch the right point, and there's a lot of variables in this equation to find and create the right funny video, while to make a good testimonial and a good demo video, it's easier. So I think it's very good to start with a good and easy to understand demo video and also a testimonial, because it's really easy to create, it's engaging, it's bring the point, and at the same time try to build the creative video. Usually the creative videos will be the ones that will bring you the real improvement, the ones that will really push you forward. But it's difficult to build this channel once you don't have the demo and a good testimonial video, because with those videos you can learn the first steps, like what is the right audience, what are the right campaigns, what is the structure, what is the funnel, which conversions you need to put. If you implemented the pixel right, there's a lot of variables when you do YouTube. It's not only one source of truth, and it's not so easy to change stuff like you can on search, change the keyword, change the landing page, and it's easily. On YouTube, it's more complex sometimes.
Okay, thank you all. That was very interesting.
Great question. Thank you. So I want to wrap it up, guys. Thank you very much all. I think you gave a great session. A lot to think about, a lot of good stuff that we can definitely implement into startups. Joey, thank you for your questions as well. And I'm waiting to see the CoreLogic video. Thank you very much, guys. I will write an article about it and we will post it and we will share it, and feel free to share the video. It's really great content for startups. So have a great day. And
Thank you, Yael. Thanks all.
Thanks a lot, Yael.